everybody. Evening here in Australia. But while I've got Jack out tonight, I thought, seeing as I'm making my way through my snakes and each and every one of them and the care of them, and this big boy is out, I thought I'd talk about coastal carpet pythons. Now, Jack is a 7-year-old, I believe, coming up to 8 at the end of this year. Coastal carpet python. He is currently at a length of around 7'3" the last time I measured him. He has since had a shed, so I've grown a little bit, but not massively. Also, weight, I really don't have a clue, but he's quite a heavy boy actually. It would be quite interesting to actually weigh him when I think about it. So I might actually go and do that, guys, so I can give you a weight on him. Well guys, he is 4.8 kilos. Don't know what that is in pounds and ounces, but 4.8 kilos. So yeah, he's quite a good weight actually. So, coastal carpet pythons live on the east coast of Australia, and have a fairly extensive habitat range. You know, they live in the trees, they live in rocks, they live on the bushes. They're quite happy to take residence wherever they can. They're also very much, you know, crossbreeding, because they, you know, their range is from New South Wales all the way up to the top end of Australia. You know, they come across a lot of other species of snakes and have started to crossbreed with your Murray Darlings, your jungles, which right now Jack is very, very interested in Lily, who is my female jungle carpet python. Diamonds, they're crossbreeding, which is fine. That's happening out in the wild. I know that Lacey was a crossbreed, well, an intergrade. She was coastal diamond, just looking at her. I know Jack is too, and I also know that Lily is crossed with a diamond or a coastal. I'm not really sure, and I'm no expert on really saying for sure that she is, because I don't know what her parents were and so on and so on. But, you know, coastals, pretty big snakes, guys. They, you know, out in the wild, grow to be 4 meters. That's a darn big snake. But, of course, that's out in the wild. I'm not saying a kept one couldn't grow that big, but I don't know if I would like Jack to end up being a 4 meter coastal carpet python, to be honest with you. Pretty easy to take care of, your coastals. Of course, they require quite a nice size enclosure. I wouldn't say that they need to climb as much as your jungles or diamonds, for that fact, or your Bredleys, which I have one, and my Darwin also likes to climb. But you know, as much as Jack comes out and he climbs around, you know, he's a bit of a ground dweller. He spends a lot of time in his hides. He likes to get up on his hammock. And I'm not saying that if you didn't offer them the ability to climb that they wouldn't. I just know that Jack is quite happy spending time on the ground, whereas Lily tends to always want to be up. So I just go by what I've observed myself. You know, they say that coastals like a temp of around 30 to 32. I find that Jack prefers it under 30, and it might only be by 0.5, you know, that 29.5, but I do know that's what he actually prefers. Now, I do know some coastals that love being in the water. Jack doesn't. And I have had bigger bowls in there that he could put himself into, but he doesn't. So, you know, just a decent size bowl for them to drink out is ample enough. Now, I keep Jack on Aspen. Of course, you do not have to do that. Newspaper, Repti bark, whatever you decide, they'll be quite happy with. And basically, I think they're relatively easy to keep. But remembering that they do become quite big snakes. So they need a lot of room, and hence why my guys can come on out and do a lot of climbing and a lot of moving around, and I get Jack outside as much as I possibly can to give him a lot of exercise. Hence why I think he's a pretty healthy specimen actually. Babies. You know, coastals can be a little bit picky and can be a little bit difficult to start feeding, believe it or not. I mean, at this particular size, no problem in them feeding whatsoever. I do know some of them over the winter do go off their feed. Jack really doesn't. He has over this breeding season, because Lily is certainly of that age to breed now, and Jack went off his food, but he's now eating again, and we're later in the breeding season at this particular point. So even though I wouldn't say that they would not breed, but I'm not going to let them either. So, temperament. You know, I always say the bigger your snake, the less defensive your snake is. You know they can hold their own. They don't need to, you know, they're a big snake, basically, and a strong snake, basically. I don't know what Jack's trying to do here. He's actually trying to get down so he can go and hunt Lily, but I'm not letting him, of course. I'm just going to let him slip a little bit further. He's already had some time with Lily tonight, and hence why I've grabbed him so I could do this particular video. You know, I never read an enormous amount of what they are, who they are, I just watch them and have learnt so much about caring for them by watching them. Of course they're heating. You know, what temps do they like? What environment do they actually come from? Not that I would say I've replicated it, but certainly Jack seems happy in what setup I have, which is this one on your left but my right, looking at the video. I do know, as big as he is, he likes to hide. I know other big snakes could care less about hiding. Lily isn't what I would consider to be a big snake, but she likes to hide. Not like to hide. Jack's my hider. Now Jack sheds at this particular stage. He's still shedding roughly every 8 weeks in winter. That slows down a little bit, and he might go every 10 weeks because sometimes he's not feeding, he's feeding maybe every 3 weeks. Currently he had gone, I think, almost 6 weeks before he wanted to feed, and I don't think was down to the weather, that was down to the breeding. So colours, Jack is not a chocolate chop. Well, he is quite brown, with the tan markings and the black bands around it. They come in a wide variety of colours, really. The greys and whites are very common as well. So, you know, they're not the most colourful, but they're still absolutely beautiful. Well, I think that they are. So I'm bound to have missed a multitude of things. Humidity 40, 50, they'll be quite happy with. As I said, they're really quite easy to take care of. You've just got to be prepared for their size, because they are one of the bigger species. Jack is headed. Sorry guys, I'm going to bring him back up before he completely disappears on me, which he is trying very hard to do. But fortunately, I'm still stronger than him for now. And boy, when he realised, sorry about that, I was bringing him out, he was going for it. I'm out of here and I'm going at the back of Lily's enclosure. He can so smell her. He literally is all over everywhere that she has been at the moment. Although he's got his tail wrapped around something, but that's okay. His tail end can stay there as long as I can see this butt, the head end. Look, head end. It's late, guys. Big day. Tired as, but I thought I'll get this video done while Jack is out and about. So if we can bring his head up, maybe, and you can see him, maybe. You're going to bring your butt end up for Mum, please? He's starting to huff and puff, aren't you? Huff and puff. So guys, coastal carpet pythons, do I think they're a fur snake? Yep. Get one as a baby. Bring it up from a baby. You'll have a beautiful, gentle, calm, cruisy, big snake. That's my belief. So guys, don't forget to press the subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Like, and I will say take care of yourself, your family, and your snakes. Not a good view, Jack, at all. Can you come back round this way just for 2 seconds while we say ciao to everybody? So guys, ciao.